The Ninth Fort is the newest defensive fortification of former Kaunas Fortress, which was built in 1903-1913. There were many novel technological decisions employed in the project and construction of the fort, distinguishing it from the others. It is one of the first concrete buildings in Kaunas region. It is the only fort with two-story barracks and underground galleries joining different rooms and allowing secure movement of the garrison during military actions. Only the Ninth Fort had technological innovations of that time: electricity, sewage, and effective ventilation. The Ninth Fort is of a pentagonal form. The width of its walls is from 1.5 to 2.1 meters. The garrison of one company, approximately 200 soldiers, had to protect the fort. On the slope of the Ninth Fort and near it, bushes and trees were planted. They had to mask the fort. Near Old Stone Cobbed Road to the fortress, you can still see 100-year-old, incredibly tall and wide poplar trees. They are the only alive, yet speechless, witnesses of the complicated history of this building. 1 year after the beginning of World War I, in the August of 1915, the German army started attacking Kaunas Fortress. The fortress did not fulfill the expectations and did not become a serious obstacle for the enemies. The fortification system, built and developed for 35 years, collapsed in only 11 days. The Russian garrison left the Ninth Fort quickly and without fights. Therefore, the exterior was almost unaffected. In 1918, when Lithuania became independent, pragmatic motives influenced the decision about the use of the objects of the former Kaunas Fortress. Due to the increased number of prisoners, the Ninth Fort was reconstructed into a division of Kaunas Hut Labor Prison in 1924. In order to reconstruct a military object into prison, no substantial investment was necessary. In front of the barracks of the Ninth Fort, a red brick wall with guard towers was built, as well as wooden outbuilding for the prisoners meeting with their family members or relatives, a guardhouse, and a registration and checking point. The state allocated about 80 hectares of land for the newly established prison. The fort barracks were reorganized into 14 main cells, 7 cells on each floor. It was foreseen to accommodate 240 prisoners. Here, both criminal and political prisoners were imprisoned, mainly the members of the prohibited Communist Party. From 1934, women were also imprisoned here. The prisoners of the Ninth Fort spent most of their time working in the fields near the fort, feeding animals or taking care of the 4-hectare garden, which can also be visited today. On June 15, in 1940, the Red Army occupied the Lithuanian Republic, and in a few days all imprisoned communists were liberated. Instead, the people, unfavorable for the authorities or potentially dangerous actors of the former state, were imprisoned in the Ninth Fort. On January 4, 1941, 436 people were imprisoned. That is, almost twice more than during the period of independent Lithuania. From this number, 286 already knew the official court decision: expulsion to forced labor camps in distant regions of the Soviet Union. The situation drastically changed on June 22 in 1941, when the war between the Soviet Union and the Nazi Germany started. When the first day of the war was finishing, the outside guards of the fort unexpectedly retreated and the prisoners were left locked in their cells. One of the old guards appeared from somewhere and let all the prisoners go. The ones who lacked patience and left the door soon understood having made a fatal mistake. Most of them were caught and shot to death by the retreating Red Army soldiers as soon as they reached the street Žemaičių plentas. These were the first more numerous victims in the Ninth Fort surroundings during its history. Unfortunately, its bloodiest period was still in the future. Please walk to the direction point marked in the map.